In the age of the Golden Sands, when the empire of Khorasan stretched from snow-capped peaks to sunburned shores, there lived a prince named Tahir, whose meaning was pure. But with time, its heart had strayed far from the meaning of its own name. He was a warrior beyond compare. His sword swift as lightning, his speech as sharp as a blade. Poets composed odes in his honor, generals saluted with reverence. But in the shadowed streets, and among the tired voices of the common folk, another truth was whispered: where Prince Tahir rides, peace does not follow. He was a conqueror, brought glory, but not gentleness, victory, yet not mercy. After a victorious campaign, as the prince passed through a small village, an old woman suddenly stepped in front of his horse. With trembling hands, she held out a clay jar. "Almighty Prince, the stars are trapped in it, but open it only in true darkness." Tahir smirked. "Old mother, I carry stars already on the hilt of my blade, in the echo of my name." He took the jar with a dismissive nod and tossed it into his saddlebag, thinking it a superstitious token, nothing more. He rode on. The woman vanished into the mist like a forgotten breath. Years passed, and Tahir's conquests grew, but so did the hardness of his heart. He built empires by burning cities, bought silence with the weight of gold, and at last, even forgot to fear the sky itself. When power knows no limits, it breeds envy, and envy, in time, gives rise to rebellion. One night, camped in the cursed Valley of Serpents, his most trusted general driven by ambition poisoned Tahir's wine. The prince collapsed before dawn and awoke not in a bed, but deep within a mountain cave known only in ghost stories. There was no light, no sound, no stars, only the endless breath of stone and darkness. A man's greatest enemy is his memories. Tahir remembered the old woman, only in true darkness. With trembling fingers, he found the jar still nestled in the same satchel, now torn and blood-stained. He broke the wax seal with the edge of a stone. The air shifted. They hovered before his eyes, but they remembered, one by one. The laughter of childhood that time had silenced, a mother's hands that braided hair, a wounded dove once comforted in childhood. Before the storm of pride, the stars drifted, illuminating a narrow crack in the wall and exit hidden in shadow. With aching limbs and humbled heart, Tahir followed. He stumbled into the morning light like one waking from centuries of sleep. His armor was gone, his sword broken, his name forgotten in the eyes of strangers. But his soul was light again. Tahir entered no throne room. He made no proclamations. Instead, he went to the people, those he had once ruled with iron. He bowed. "Forgive me," he said, "for ruling with pride, not purpose. I return not as master, but as student. Teach me how to lead." But slowly the land changed. Justice replaced fear. Soldiers became farmers. Temples were no longer built in his name, but in the name of compassion. Years later, in a quiet corner of the palace, there stood a hall of mirrors. There, in the center, on a humble pedestal of cedarwood, sat the jar of stars, still glowing faintly. Tahir would sit beside it often, not to command, but to remember. Once a young scribe came and asked him, "My lord, what magic lies in that jar?" And Tahir smiled. "None that you can touch, but much that you can feel. The jar taught me that true light is not found in swords, crowns, or coins, but in the memories we bury and the kindness we choose to recall." And so, the tale of Prince Tahir ends not with gold, nor glory, but with a jar, a memory, and the light, if only we choose to see it in the dark.